We're taking a look at Kelty's Palisade 4. This is definitely a car camping tent, and luxurious car camping at that. This tent has a lot of wonderful, unique features that are going to be great for any family that wants to spend a lot of time at the campsite. They want to have easy access to their gear, want to be able to keep it dry, have plenty of places to store items, and is looking for a tent that's really going to cater to folks that are spending weekends to long weeks at a campground. The Palisade 4 sleeps 4 people without a problem. There's plenty of space for extra gear and storage. It also comes in a 6-person version, which would really be a luxurious camping tent for up to 6 people. With 4 people, you're going to have tons of space, and on this 4-person model, with 2 people, you would have an excessive amount of room. The tent body of the Palisade 4 sets up with 3 poles. One of these poles is one of the most unique features about this tent. It is a hoop design. So the pole you see here running across the front of the tent over the door is a circular pole. It's a hoop design that runs all the way around the tent. What this does is it opens up the top of the tent, so you have a lot of livable space inside the tent that allows people inside the tent to actually stand up. Full measurement height in here is going to be 6 feet at the peak, but you could get a couple folks under the height of 6 feet standing in there because this pole is pulling the walls of the tent out and giving you so much space inside. So on the Palisade 4, you've got kind of a different connection point here where your poles cross. This is the large hoop pole that we talked about earlier, and then you've got your basic X design cross poles that are running through the sleeves. Right where these 2 poles cross, to give you the stability you need for a shelter of this size, there's a long black tab with a piece of Velcro on it. This is kind of designed so you can anchor this around as a wraparound, Velcro it shut. Kind of makes a nice point, holds that in place. You'll see a small D-ring here looped in as well. That's going to be a point where you can anchor the fly into the tent body. The tent body on the Palisade 4 is made up of mostly a no-seam mesh netting, so it's going to keep bugs out as long as you've got the doors zipped up, and it gives you great ventilation, good breathability in this tent, so it's going to be excellent for hot weather camping or summertime camping. And the back side of the tent does have a bit of nylon paneling to the body, so you get a little bit of privacy there, but for the most part this tent is fully open mesh, and the ceiling as well is just a big open expanse of mesh. Gives you a great view of the sky. If it's good weather and you've got the flyback, you're going to be able to see the stars, and there's not going to be much in the way of condensation or humidity buildup in this tent. I'm sitting inside the Palisade 4 to give you an idea of what kind of space you have in here. It's a 4-person tent. It's going to easily sleep 4 people or less than 4 people. And there is some internal pocketing to help with organization of small items. You've got 2 pockets in each corner. One is kind of a larger drop-in pocket, and the other is a short sleeve pocket. You can stow small items. It's kind of an interesting feature. Another unique piece on the Palisade 4 is going to be this little back door here. It basically unzips and gives you access to the smaller vestibule on the back side of the tent that's created when the rain fly is on. So you can keep other items back here and easily get to them without leaving the tent, should it be in the middle of the night or just potential rainy day and you don't have room to store everything in the tent. You can keep those extra items in this back vestibule and have access to the back of the tent. It's also great in warm weather to get some airflow running through, but there is no mesh door here. So if you leave this open, it will allow bugs to come into the tent. Palisade 4, as I said before, is really well set up for family camping and kind of a luxurious sort of family camping. Another nice unique feature here is at the front of the tent next to the door is going to be power cord access. You can see there's a little logo of a power cord, but basically it's a small pocket that unzips, goes out to the tent. You can run power cords in and out of the tent, whether you're trying to run a radio or a lantern or something, potentially maybe off of your car or some sort of a generator. So that's another little feature there that just kind of caters to folks that are going to be spending a lot of time at campgrounds. So one of the features that really stand out on the Palisade 4 is going to be this vestibule that we're looking at here. The tent is back here. And I don't know if you can see through this mesh paneling, but all the space in here is your external storage vestibule. There's a lot of great features on the inside. We're going to take a look at those in a second, but we'll talk about the outside here. You've got additional points to guide this out. You do have a 4th pole that's set up here that works with just the vestibule. So you've got 3 poles to set up the tent body itself, and then a fourth gray pole that is going to support the vestibule system here. So I'm kneeling inside the vestibule of the Palisade 4, give you a feel for the space in here. You could definitely set up 2 folding camp chairs and have enough headroom that 2 people could sit on here on a rainy day. You've got 2 doors. You're looking in through one of the doors. This is the other door, this mesh paneling here. And we've got it zipped up right now. So when it is zipped up, you kind of have like a bug-free zone. And I want to give you a look here. You've got a mesh panel behind this, but Kelty sets this up really nicely. So you've kind of got these like windproof, waterproof panelings that fit over this. You've got a toggle point at the top. You have one of the clip systems, which is the way the tent body attaches to the pole structure here. And then you've got a hook on a bungee, which is going to lock into these D-rings. And you can undo this entire panel. And there are toggle points here that allow you to roll it back out of the way, anchor it in there. Now you've got full breathability. You can see the outside as well. This is again, that no-seam bug mesh, so you're protected from that. If it gets really windy, or you want to create shade, or you want to protect yourself from wet weather, all you need to do is reconnect that paneling in a couple of different points, and you're pretty well protected. Now, this is not sealing against the mesh, so if it was a true summer thunderstorm with some high winds and heavy rain, you're probably going to get a little bit of rain inside of this vestibule. So you want to make sure your stuff is stored closer to the center, and maybe it's got a bit of a tarp over it. But it really allows for a couple folks to sit out here in the middle of hot weather, be in the shade, have a breeze coming in, or just be protected from the bugs. Here's a look from inside the tent of the Palisade 4, looking out through the vestibule. And you can see there's one door, and then you've got a little piece in the middle there with some cup holders. And then you've got a second door over here that's currently closed. And you've got some mesh paneling there. You take a look up at the ceiling. You've got a lot of headroom here, tons of storage, easy access in and out of the tent. Fly on the Palisade 4 is completely seam sealed at the floors as well, and so the fly is waterproof, ready to go. We're taking a look at the back vestibule here. It's a smaller piece, but it is set up like a vestibule. You actually do have a zippered opening access here. You can tie the door back, and then you'll see that you have access to the little door in the back of the tent. This does anchor out. It is adjustable to one of the stakes. We'll open that up again and give you a look here. So here's the door. There's actually a zipper pull on the outside, so you could even load things into the tent or out of the tent from here. And when this is out to the stake, you do have some waterproof coverage back here with access to it from the tent. So we're taking a look at where the body of the tent, the poles and the fly all connect to each other and the stake out point. Here is your pole. Fits into a grommet. These are color-coded pieces of webbing, so you've got silver and gray, so you know exactly which tab your fly is going to match up with. You can see here's the corner of the fly, also has orange webbing. It means it fits with orange webbing. And here's the buckle system. This is how you connect the fly to the tent setup. It's pretty easy, and you've got some adjustability there, so you can pull that fly nice and taut. And then you've got your webbing loop at the end with a steel stake that Kelty includes here to anchor the whole system out. The one note I'd like to make here for folks that are seriously considering buying this tent, it is not a very intuitive setup. There are directions, and I think once you've done it once or twice, you'll figure out how it sets up, and then it'll be easy to go from there. It does require more than one person as well. 2 to 3 people are probably necessary to set this tent up quickly and easily. But once you get it set up, it's a great design, and if you're going to go to a campground and stay put for a couple of days to a week, you're really going to enjoy those features, and it balances out some of that difficulty in setup. So that's the Kelty Palisade 4, full of unique features. It's definitely a family-style camping tent, luxury camping, wonderful unique designs here, from the full coverage fly with ventilation to this vestibule that is literally the size of another small tent that a couple people can hang out in there. There's cup holders in there. You've got these great panels in the door. Definitely a well thought out tent for anybody who's looking to do some family camping.